Health and social care is unsustainable unless we take a radical new approach. It's been fantastic the last 50 years. We've had technological developments and we've done wonderful things with evidence-based decision making and prevention and quality improvement and cost reduction. But at the end of 50 years of progress, every society on earth is facing three big problems. The first is unwarranted variation, huge variations in non-urgent care, for example, hip replacement, lab testing, imaging, huge variations. And that reveals two other problems. The first is the overuse of healthcare, and that's overuse of cost-effective healthcare, like chemotherapy, or hip replacement, or prescribed drugs. The second problem that variation reveals is the underuse of healthcare, and that's often complicated by inequity. People from deprived subgroups of the population get less healthcare from the NHS than people from wealthy subgroups of the population. So what are we going to do? Well, we need to carry on with prevention, evidence-based decision making, quality improvement, cost reduction. That's necessary but not sufficient. And the new agenda for health and social care, it's called population health management. The way we define it is to say this is a way of thinking about health and social care that focuses primarily on populations defined by need. That's people with a condition, like epilepsy or rheumatoid arthritis, people with a symptom like back pain or headache, or people with some complex problem like being homeless or being in the last year of life, or having multiple conditions. It doesn't focus on institutions like hospitals and health centres. It doesn't focus on departments like radiology or lab services, and it doesn't focus on professions like social work or nursing or medicine. It focuses on populations defined by need, because these are the eternal verities of health and social care. They'll always be with us. So how do we do it? What's the new agenda? Well, we see there are 5 things in the new agenda. Firstly, and this is first in order, and I think first in importance, is the creation of a culture of stewardship. Now, stewardship's an old word from the Bible and from looking after land, but it means to hold something in trust that you do not own for future generations. We're the stewards of the NHS. We're the stewards of the planet. And that's the job of leadership. Leadership changes culture. Secondly, we have to agree on the population subgroups. Let's all agree, what do we mean by being in the last year of life? Or being frail? Or having rheumatoid arthritis? Some are easier than others. And it should really, in my view, only be done once. Once we've done that, what are we trying to achieve for each subgroup? Let's take something quite simple, like people with asthma. What are the objectives and what are the outcomes that matter to people, as well as the outcomes that matter to people like me who pay for or manage services? So that's develop a culture, define the populations, design the systems, and then fourthly, create networks. It's not institutions. I think had 27 reorganisations of the structure of the NHS, most of which have made no difference at all. It's network. The 20th century was the century of the bureaucracy. The 21st century is the century of the system and the network. So network thinking. And then the 5th issue may seem to be different from this in population, but it's personalise. Make sure every individual making a fateful decision to have an operation or a genomic test really understands what the risks are as well as the benefits. Because the more healthcare we do, the more harm we do, even high quality healthcare. So people have to understand that, and personalisation will reduce the use of low value healthcare. So that's the future. More of the same is necessary, but not sufficient. We need population health management, and those are the 5 themes. And I think the Midlands is going to play a leading role globally in developing this concept.